Warning: this video may contain vulgar language and adult content. If you are easily offended or are susceptible to events pertaining to death, gore, family troubles, or other potential threats, then know that viewer discretion is advised. Please be safe when viewing and stop the video if you need to. Safety is far more important to us than entertainment, so please enjoy your time here with us as we explore this fantasy world.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to DoubleTime.
Hello, hello, hello.
We are approaching the climax of this arc, and it is going to be one hell of a ride. I can guarantee it.
It is. If you haven't seen the last episode, I highly recommend you do, because it's going to involve the start of this final part. At least for the climax. Both me and my partner here are bouncing with excitement, just raring to go. So let's not hold back. Before we do start, if you're ever interested in other tabletop RPGs, specifically because of this moment and the severity of it, check out RPGLeague at their Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, and their new website, because they do reviews on other tabletop RPGs, so you can try out other systems before actually knowing what they are. This can help with so much. I highly recommend you check it out, because at this point, this is why I love playing these kinds of games. I am just stuck moving like this. So, oh, you're fine. Where we last left off, in the last session, we discovered what the lava was, and it seemed to have been a portal for the chaotic plane of fire, as fire elementals and flame individuals were sprouting up from it. Crushing the pipes to hopefully thwart it did not seem to do anything, and they found a door at the end of the same room, which they shape-changed into a door, and then went down into a tunnel, dropped a few lights down into a bottomless cavern, it seemed, that had massive stone bridges crossing in several different directions below them in a much further down layer. Dropping them, they heard a giant's voice talking about and complaining about who would drop such things. Then a dwarven man very angrily ran up, kicked Anna in the shin a few times, because what was actually happening was the pipes was trying to filter and prevent the portal from working. However, it was not currently working at the time, but Anna had no idea and decided to crush them. Promising to aid, they were teleported out after explaining that they had their own mass war to resolve, and then they would come back and resolve their problems with fire giants, which seemed to be the cause of these primordial planes and in resulting heat for the city. Teleported back, they were given authority to use the crystal up until they finish this fight, in which time they're scheduled to return it, as well as resolve the problems of the city. Making their way back to Waterdeep and getting a nice rest, there was this moment inside of the rest where an unease began to kind of settle in, and torrential rain began to fall as a thunderstorm began to emerge on the ceiling of the sky, and a face breaking out just softly in the clouds form, so you can barely see any kind of distinct feature of it. As waking up, getting a jar full of rocks for some reason, they stepped outside and saw that the city was far closer than they initially thought. Still a few miles out, but approaching at a much faster pace. In this as well, the sky began to become dark. The clouds emerged around the city and just formed softly and continued to form further and further out. And the same face emerged from it as it began to downpour rain. Fearing the worst, the group ran and separated themselves so that way they can inform the city to evacuate as much as possible. And meeting at the archive, the group had decided to finally summon the Valkyries, the force that was bestowed upon them by the ruler of the nine layers of hell, a bolt of lightning shot from the sky's clouds where the face was emanating, and it collided with the floating city of Neverwinter that was slowly approaching. With the new direction that this was going, Izith landed next to Jester, had a brief talk, and they are at war. And that's where we come back.
Oh my, yes. Oh, I'm so ready. Okay. Anna.
Yes.
Immediately as you regain control of the body, you pass out.
I pass out?
You pass out.
Okay.
You have a vision from someone else's eyes. You are standing in the courthouse where you used to work. Near the bench, you see Jester fumbling around with something in his hands. It's very small. He's kind of just like flipping it back and forth between his palms. You can't quite see what it is. Your figure, who you are in this, steps closer to him, and he looks up and smiles. He stops flipping the object around, picks it up between his thumb and index finger, and you recognize it to be our holy symbol.
Our coin.
He smiles. Yes.
The one that was thrown in the fire.
Yes. He smiles and says, "There's no more running for any of us. One of many. One of the few." You can see he flips it up. It sails up over his head and lands on the bench where the judge would sit. And him and the figure who you were watching through their eyes turn to leave, and the vision fades.
Do I come into consciousness?
Yeah, you regain consciousness upon the floor. Izith crosses her arms and looks down at you. Are you alright?
So just to clarify, did the Jester and me vanish?
No.
Your there?
Sight faded away, but they did not disappear.
Two of us there did not disappear. Alright. I think what we're seeing, you wouldn't understand, is that we're ready to attack. I'm going to go and speak with Adam. I need to call out, find out if there's any weapons or anything that they might not have. I can prepare something in quick pace. But for now, this is the moment that we attack. We still have the upper hand based on the distance. The closer they get, the more of a threat they become.
She raises an eyebrow and quizzically looks around at the Valkyries who are perched on rooftops and who are flying up above. She looks out of the city and then back to you. Well, I hate to break this to you, but there aren't a whole lot of Valkyries. Not enough to have a meaningful impact. I'm going to make a call, so to speak. After you're done with whoever you have to talk to, return here.
Alright, yeah, I'll do that. I'm gonna run into the archive, burst open the doors, and just scream for Adam. Just call out for him.
He bursts up through the trapdoor.
Adam, the moment has come. I've informed my allies to tell everyone in the city to at least evacuate. I know that you've been doing that already, but the moment has approached. The city has gotten here far sooner than you had initially anticipated.
Fuck. Shit. I will get everybody else. We will organize the guards, and we will escort everybody out.
Is there any weapons that you need?
No. We have everything we need. You worry about the offense. We will get everybody out, and once the civilians are free, we will assist, I suppose. I guess.
Right.
I don't quite know how we're getting up there, but we will help if we can.
Well, we've summoned the Valkyrie.
That is unnerving. Okay. I don't know. Okay.
They'll be able to help. Would you happen to have a light crossbow on you, or a hand crossbow even?
One of the guards running by gets stopped by him, and he rips the hand crossbow off his belt and then throws it to you.
I'll snatch it and take up the bolts. What you look for? Oh, no, you're fine. I'm gonna stuff those into the bag of holding so that way we have the projectile that we're thinking of using.
Okay.
Okay. Adam, the plan is to send a small militia group, at least possible, through the teleportation circle into the city. When we traveled out of it a long time ago, we used teleportation circle to escape. We're thinking it can be used in reverse and can bring a small group into the city undetected.
It's a good start, I suppose, but a small group against an army of highly trained mages is not going to end well.
It's not, but what we have going for us is misfortune.
I don't
can
follow.
feel. I follow a patron, or I follow a goddess that has bestowed a gift of potential luck for us. It's downpouring rain, and they were struck by lightning. The city was. So we can use this to our potential advantage. If we can have the Valkyrie cause enough of a stir on the surface, bring troops in aerial style through them, then we can create enough of a disturbance for us to make it to the Capitol building. Our friend that we had rescued from hell had explained that they have a large structural foundation in the Capitol building, the court. If they have it built there, they're clearly trying to defend it for some reason. Maybe it's a central point that's keeping the entire city aloft.
It's entirely possible. Something of this magnitude would require a huge power source.
It would. And I know that I noticed that they had stems of energy coming from the building itself and stemming off into different portions of the city. I tried to thwart it, but clearly that didn't work. At least it didn't work for very long. But if there's a way that I can disrupt it, or even end the effect, then it would create a much more advantageous force for us, because then we can have forces surround the city. We can rain hell into them. From this height, we're not going to be able to reach them with most things, but the crystal will keep them safe, potentially from hostile magic, and the Valkyrie will keep us safe from hostile forces. This is the only shot we have, and the more that we can get into the city, the better initially. At least to stir a reaction to delve forces away from the center focal point.
He nods. I trust you. You are our best operative, and we have full faith in you. We will go where we are needed, and if you require anything from us, find any one of us, and they will help the best they can. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must go get everybody out.
Go. And I'm going to step back out. Are Chalet, Barst, and Eris coming back yet?
Barst is back, the other two are not.
Alright. Izith, what was your idea? What's your thought?
Well, judging by how things are going, and your lack of military, and their overwhelming force, we require extra aid. I've already conferred with your friend here. You can see the tiefling man scowls and looks away. And we have decided, well, I have decided, and she smiles, it would be best if we called in someone a tiny bit more helpful?
Who do you have in mind?
You will see. She claps her
Just know
hands twice, and in a array of black and red flame, a couple feet away from you, emerges. Fuck. Zariel.
Oh, God. You brought her? She
Wearing
didn't
her
want to
full
participate
black plate,
this.
her black feathery wings, her waistcoat made of chain, wielding her giant hammer with her sword in its sheath. Words are failing me. Come on, brain.
Her scabbard?
Yes. And her halo of red flame behind her head.
She didn't want to participate in this. That's what she said.
I was persuaded to see otherwise. How am I to turn up a new theater of war? I've seen the same blasted landscape for millennia.
Well, if you're deciding to help, then thank you from the... I'm glad that you are going to be fighting, at least on relative side, with us.
I am on my own side, dear.
It's parallel. You're going on your own path, but you're still going forwards. And we're going off veering forwards, trying to stay away from you. I'm gonna do hand gestures like a line staying as far away from another line as possible.
Ah, you're adorable when you're frightened. Isith, if you would, allow me to do what need to be done. She turns back to you. Do you have any large empty spaces? I mean, this plaza is fairly spacious, but is there anything else larger?
Outside the city wall, I'm sure. Or the cities.
Too far.
It's too far.
This will be fine here.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna step back. I'm just gonna move Barst back, I suppose.
Everybody backs up. Zariel strides into the center of the plaza. No. Well, yes, I suppose. Doesn't particularly matter. You can see she steps right dead into the center. Feet together, arms up and out. Her wings extend out behind her. And without flapping her wings at all, she begins to ascend up into the sky. She flies, or floats, way up to where she's about almost level with the city of Neverwinter. In Infernal script, you begin to hear her talk. And she says, in rough translation, "Hear me now, armies of the First. We have gathered, arrayed against our enemy, to strike fear and terror into their hearts, to burn the land, to revel in our chaos, and bring the ultimate victory home with us." And as she talks, you can see her halo begins to expand out behind her, and it expands and expands until one edge touches the ground beneath her. And as she finishes her monologue, the space in the ring of fire turns completely black.
Oh, God.
And after a few seconds, hundreds and hundreds of fiends begin to fly out and run out of the portal.
Is Adam leaving yet?
He has stopped and is looking in full terror.
I'm gonna run up. I'm gonna tilt his head. Doesn't matter. We'll resolve it. Go. Just go. I'm just gonna tilt his head. Don't look up. Don't look up and just go.
Hundreds and hundreds, thousands of fiends, just flood out into the city. You can see on the ground in front of you are like a marching army of these dudes wearing full black plate armor. They don't have wings or anything, they just look like normal dudes. But they all have these smoldering spurs attached to their back of their boots. And as they all, in unison, stomp their right foot, in between them, from a burst of hellfire, comes a nightmare. And they all saddle up.
Oh my god.
From behind them, you see a chariot made of wrought black iron, pulled by two nightmares, with like some kind of weird organ or keyboard maybe. There is a Araness in it, and she is wearing like this like almost punk rock style like clothing. Flanking on either side of her is another Araness with a guitar and another one with a bass. And they look up at you and they give you this wicked smile. Izith turns to you. Well, looks like she has called on the entire army of the first. Whoever is not currently disposed is coming here.
I mean, they can handle this, right? No. Okay, that was Izith. Thank you. Fantastic idea. Glad that we could construct something like this. Just a little bit of bouncing back and forth is all that was necessary. I fear that this is going to scar plenty of people, but they will live. And that's what's important.
Yes, of course, lives are important. Yes.
Yep. Question.
She gives you a very questionable smile.
Just for my sake, they can. No, that's fine. I'll call on Relic at some point. It'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
No, it'll be fine. I've got a mental breakdown slowly building. Question. Why 2 lances on the Valkyries?
In case one gets covered in too much blood and gore, and it becomes too slick to use.
And what's the fire at the tip of it supposed to do? It doesn't seem to be touching the spear.
Oh, it, well, burns you from the inside.
Fantastic. Well, if we have an army, then we have a retaliatory force against them.
Yes, well, truth be told, I called on them because we are quite outnumbered, but also because I sensed demons amongst them.
You sense demons amongst them?
It might be. I am divulging a bit too much here, but Relic has been keeping tabs on you. He likes to know what you're up to.
It's fair. As ruler of the 9 hells, he rightfully deserves it. Also, I still bear the mark, and I show the crescent rose, basically emblazoned into our skin.
Yes. Well, after your run-in with that man, the one who's up there in the city,
right?
Relic decided to start tracking him as well, and it became very evident to his lordship that, well, he was calling upon demons, probably in response to you calling upon the hells.
So this constitutes war between the Blood War.
You have called the Blood War into your own war.
That's fun. That's always good. Well, once one side leaves, then the other can as well.
They must have a portal similar to this one connected to the Abyss. It would behoove us to either close it or keep it open and allow us entry so we may wipe them out once and for all.
Right.
But that is neither here nor there. At the moment, we must prepare.
And the portal would look something like this?
Well,
and I'm pointing to the huge thing.
Probably not this size. She is the Lord of the First. Unless they have a Demon Lord on their side, I'd suspect it's much smaller.
That's fair. Slowly eking out abyssal creatures.
Yes.
God, those things were terrifying. Oh. This has very quickly gone out of my expertise. Okay.
Zerial must remain here to keep the portal open, otherwise our forces will dwindle.
Understand? The crystal will be able to keep her safe as well. Though I doubt that she's gonna need the protection. Okay. Then here's the plan. Once the two sides wage, the distraction will begin, and that's when we will infiltrate inside. Me and a group of my allies will go in separately, so that way we can infiltrate secretly. Once we get further in, we're going to make our way to the Capitol building and go from there. Based off of the fact that they have abyssal creatures coming out, I would want to imagine they would keep it somewhere close by, so I will keep general eye out for a potential location for this abyssal plane. This abyssal portal, I suppose.
Very good. I will lead the assault. She turns to leave, and she stops and looks over her shoulder. Oh, and I have ordered the Valkyries to swoop down and pick up those who are capable and are armed to fight, and they will be joining.
Thank you. I had completely forgotten to even state that this has changed so much in the span of about 5 minutes. It's only been 5. But this is required. Okay.
Chin up, darling. We're only getting started. And she flies away.
That's what I'm afraid of.
You can see there are legions of these knights on nightmares, horned devils and such flying through the air. You can see there are several of these chariot-esque groups, and they're all lining up behind the retinue of knights on the ground.
Okay. Well, are you coming with us, or are you going to fight from here? I'm going to turn to the tiefling.
I haven't fought in such a long time. I am not missing this for the world.
I'm sorry, you cut out there.
Fuck. I have been gone for so long. I have been imprisoned for millennia. I am not going to miss a fight.
So are you fighting from here, or are you fighting with us?
He steps out into the plaza as well. Well, if they're going to make a scene, I might as well. As well.
How many of these people? Who have we befriended, Jester? We're talking with gods. This is terrifying.
You can see the tiefling man winks at you, and as he turns his back to you, you can see his body undertakes like this grotesque transformation and expands rapidly. And in his place from where he once stood is this colossal red dragon.
Oh. So Barst, you wouldn't happen to be able to do that.
Barst kind of just meekly shakes his head no.
Okay. I thought so.
The dragon turns to you. Are you ready to go?
Not yet. I guess. Are we writing you? What?
No. Are you ready for war?
Well, yes.
It
Yes.
lowers its head way down to you, and it peers into you with its colossal eyes. Courage, my friend.
Yes.
That's more like it. I'll see if I can't keep the skies clear for you.
Well, that would be greatly appreciated, sir, who I have no name for.
You won't get my name.
I didn't think so.
As you're having this conversation, you can see Chalet and Eris sprinting across the plaza, eyes wide, and they're almost screaming.
Don't question it. Don't even. We're going inside the building. Barst, go. Get them to the teleportation room We'll figure it out from there.
Oh, yeah, we're yes. He takes them.
Also, I'm gonna take out the longbow or the bow or the crossbow and the bolts. I'm gonna hand them to Eris. Eris, you know how to use these?
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah, just our plan from before, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. Yep, good. All right, I'll see you inside. Thank you, Red Dragon, sir. And hopefully this all goes according to plan. And I'll be honest, it has already gone up Schitt's Creek. But I think it's gone up Schitt's Creek in a good way.
As soon as you involve the 9 hells in anything, of course it goes to shit.
Right. I've learned that mistake. However, it's a big mistake. But this is the moment that we've been preparing for, and this is the main reason why I necessarily needed it. If they were going to involve demons, I was going to need to involve devils, even if I was the cause of them involving demons. Best of luck, and I will see you after this is resolved.
Fare thee well, small one.
And I'm gonna sprint inside the archive, because, oh my god, I don't want to be out there anymore. I don't want another third person. I don't want, suddenly the friend, the gnomish man who died in the hells to emerge. I don't want, fucking the twins and the man with broken legs to summon the forces of their towns. I'm going inside. I'm going to the teleportation room because I'm getting overwhelmed. There's too many people.
So you find everybody else in the teleportation room. As you're heading in there, you can hear this loud gust of wind, and the entire archive kind of just shifts ever so slightly. As you enter.
What was that? What was that? No, nothing. Never mind.
As you enter, Burst is like, you know how to activate this thing, right?
Do I recall the way that, seeing through Jester's eyes, what the gnomish man did to draw on the ground?
I'd say yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Jester, how did...
Jester will use his mind feature to grant you his knowledge of what he knows about the thing.
Alright. Alright, I'm gonna sketch it out. Draw it. Alright. And I plant my foot. Everyone ready? Because the moment this happens, you need to be very quiet. Initially.
They all nod.
And I'm gonna stamp my foot down on top of it.
You are pulled from your current location. This wave of nausea flows over you. Your vision is a swirl of colors. You feel immense speed, and then suddenly nothing. You are just left with the nausea, and you are in what you remember to be the basement of the elven man's bar that you murdered.
Oh, yeah, that does not feel comfortable.
Oh, no,
Okay.
not at all. No.
That could be that, or it could just be the fact that I want to throw up from everything that's happening.
That too, probably. I mean, you have literally called hell to our side.
I don't want to hear it right now. I don't. Alright. I'm fine. I'm just going to clamp my hands together, put them up to my chest. We have Bashaba. We have the 9 hells. We have our friends. And we have the city protecting Waterdeep. We will do this, and we will do it right. Now, do I remember which way was closest to get to... Because there's 2 locations, right? There's one from the sewers, and there's one up the ladder, right?
To get where?
To get outside.
Yes. Quickest way is up the ladder because it's right outside the store.
Right.
But there is also the sewers that would lead out to the canals and out by where we used to live.
And that would be closer to the capital.
Debatable.
Okay, so they're in relative positioning.
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's go a little bit deeper into the sewers and hope that keeps us out of... No, because if there's people down there, then we're going to need the aid of others. We should go up, because if we go through the sewers and we meet people that are trying to seek shelter, then we're going to meet a whole world of hurt.
Barst grips his, I don't know, belt tightly. Let's do it.
All right. So what I'm going to do, before doing anything, I'm going to look at Barst. Let me look at... How long does this spell actually last? That'd be an important question. How long does silence last? I'm guessing a minute.
Most likely.
Oh, 10 minutes.
Even
okay.
better.
That is way better. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at Barst. Okay. I'm going to cast... Oh, yeah, I'm going to cast it onto the rock.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Silence onto the rock. I'm going to put it into the jar and close it.
Okay. So for a brief moment there, when you cast Silence on the rock, all the sound around you is completely gone. And as you put it in the jar and then tighten the lid, the sound comes back.
Okay, I need to focus on this. Barst, you hold on to this. At any point, when you see one of the robed individuals, you open it and run at them. They will not be able to hurt you with spells once they're within 20 feet of you.
Oh, I see. Very clever.
Okay. Now, just in case everyone doesn't know, Eris, your goal is to, in case one of them can, to counterspell what they're trying to do. You need to stop them because their powerful magic is the greatest risk to us, and we need as all much strength as possible.
Okay. I got it.
Okay. Chalet, you and I are going to focus on taking out the forces in our way. If you see a group of people that Barst isn't too far from, then you yourself are going to be tasked with at least focusing a point onto them. With silence, not yourself.
Okay.
Okay. From there, we will have to go based off of that. We'll figure out what we will do from that point. But with this plan, we might just have enough of a boundary to be able to run straight to the place that we need. But we should still stay at least somewhat hidden, because I doubt that the streets are empty.
We'll follow your lead.
All right, and I'm gonna open the trapdoor, but I want to get a quick perception to see what's going on out front before I actually open the whole thing.
Okay.
10.
Because the trapdoor was behind the actual bar itself, you can't see anything, obviously, but you can hear things coming from outside. You hear music, but like heavy metal and screaming and bolts of lightning and flame and like clashing of steel.
Wait. When you said chariot with organ on it, you literally meant the instrument.
Literally meant an instrument, yes.
I thought you meant like a fucking stomach or something.
Oh, no. Nope.
Because that would make sense for hell. Fucking organs are playing death metal.
Organs, guitars, and bass guitars.
I love it. I love it. I have to find relative free heavy metal music to put in place here now. I have to. Like, it's only fitting. Okay, then I'm gonna open the trapdoor. Everyone, come on.
Everybody climbs out. As you peek around the corner, You see out in the street, like all sorts of varieties of demons. You see lots of red wizards with their pointed hats. You see fiends and soldiers from Waterdeep. The wizards are shooting lightning bolts up into the sky, and they're being rained, and there's like fireballs being rained back down onto them. Some of them get immediately disintegrated. The soldiers are fighting the demons are kicking their asses, and then some fiends show up and kill the demons. Everybody seems to be in quite a bit of a stalemate at the moment.
Okay. Then I'm gonna clutch my coin tightly, my hand.
It's burning ever so slightly warmer.
Everyone, let's go. Is there a back entrance from this building?
You would recall there is a back room with a window.
With a window? Alright. We're not gonna hit the main streets. That's gonna be a death wish even with an army. We're going around. There's a back window. We can open that and then stealth our way around.
Let's do it.
Alright. And I'm gonna go into the back room. There's no one back here, yeah?
Nope.
Okay. I'm gonna open the window and just peer out, double check both sides.
The back alley appears to be clear.
Okay. I'm gonna crawl my way out.
You get outside. The rain is pouring down. The wind is whipping up. Bolts of lightning are striking everywhere around the city. Indiscriminately, just with no real rhyme or reason to their positioning.
God.
Up in the sky, you can see hundreds of those bat demons that you encountered when escaping the first lair.
Oh, God.
There are Araness and horned devils flying around, impaling dozens of them. Some are getting torn to shreds by the demons.
Well, everyone don't look up and just keep your eyes forwards and behind us. And I'm gonna try to, do I remember the layout of Neverwinter, being there recently and also living there?
Yeah, I'd say you know your way around.
I want to try to take the most direct route, but also the one that's not going to involve as much sight from the main roads as possible.
Okay.
And make our way towards the Capitol building.
You make your way about 3-ish blocks before you encounter a problem.
Oh, shit.
It seems that the Magi have constructed these gargantuan crimson walls all throughout the city to prevent progress.
So, does it look like these walls encompass... Well, I guess I can't look at every single wall. Do I get the impression that there might be an entrance from this? Or is they completely segmented the city?
I'm not entirely sure.
Alright, well then we have to... Our only option is to either go over the wall. How high is the wall?
Like 40 or 50 feet.
Jesus, I can't believe we couldn't see that from before. I suppose it's been that far away, so a few miles you're not going to see something 40 feet tall.
Kind of stuff above.
Oh yeah, and also true, it would be above us. Alright, our option is either everyone goes over the wall, or we try to hug the wall and find an entrance in. Is it stone? No, it's crimson, you said. It's that crimson red. That's that crimson color thing from the tower.
It's not even brick. It's like just a single slab of stone.
Stone?
Or, well, it looks like stone.
Okay.
I immediately knew what you were going for.
I figured.
You're not going to best my wall that easily.
I figured as much. That's why I wanted to just clarify. I wanted to clarify. Be like, hey, it's a door. No, okay. So our two options are hug the wall, or everyone gets inside of the portable hole and I fly us over. But I feel like going over is going to put us into an easily point of view, so let's hug the wall and try to find an entrance in.
Make a perception check.
Alright. 18.
18. You are the only one who hears this. Coming from the direction that you came from, you hear rasping moans
came from? No. Do these sound like... These wouldn't happen to sound like the wardens from the Shadowfell.
Make a history check.
Oh, you mother. Well, thing is, you chose history. Alright then. Here's a plus 11. 30?
They aren't.
Oh my fucking... You... Oh my god. Do I know what kind of creature it is?
No.
Okay. Fucking... Everyone, we're going this way. We're gonna hug the wall to head, I guess, towards the center. They wouldn't keep it off to the sides, I would guess. If there was an entrance, they wouldn't... Yeah, we're gonna hug the wall and go left from it,
Okay.
I suppose.
As you're hugging the wall going left, make a stealth check.
Okay. Stealth with our dex. I'm pretty sure I'm not proficient in that. I'm like 100% certain. Yeah, so 16?
16. Okay. Okay. Chalet is not stealthy. Obviously.
I figured as much.
Everybody else
Figured
is
as much.
alright, though.
Really? Even Barst?
Yep.
Hey, good job, Barst. Fucking nice. Chalet, it's fine. I'm wearing fucking plate armor. I'm not expecting you to do much.
As you make your way along the wall, you get to more open main thoroughfares to the city. And a majority of the buildings that line both sides of the road are either completely destroyed or the front walls are blown out and rubble has completely filled the streets. You see mages hurtling spells at soldiers, demons fighting fiends. It is chaos everywhere.
Question for you. How many minutes would you say has passed
Since
I casted the spell Silence?
like
It has a 10-minute duration, so I'm just wondering if it's like halfway.
I'd say
or
about
if it's gone.
7 minutes.
Okay, so I have about 3 minutes on it left.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Okay. And I don't see it.
Perception check.
Make another perception. All right. Nice. 17.
17. You hear chains rattling coming from the direction that you just came from. And the same raspy moans.
And I don't see an entrance anywhere. Nope. And passageways look blocked.
Yep.
Everyone, our only option is to go over the wall.
Eris is very not pleased. That is that's a no.
Look, I have a better idea. Rather than the wall, I have a better idea. So it'll only be for at most 12 seconds, but we need to hurry. I'm gonna unfurl the portable hole and slide it onto the ground.
Here we go again. In the hole. Bars
Right.
just jumps in. Everybody else gets in.
Okay, good. I'm gonna fold it up.
Hold it up.
And I'm gonna use... Oop.
Hmm?
Oh, I thought you said hold up. Okay, I'm gonna fold it up. I'm gonna use the Cloak of the Monobank to move. I'm gonna teleport. Would our home be on the other side of this?
No.
It wouldn't? Okay, what's on the other side of this?
You'd be heading into like Midtown, into like more of the mercantile area.
Is that man's shop that Jester burned down there?
The stall, most likely. Yeah.
I'm going to use the Cloak of the Monobank to dimension door into that stall.
Okay. You kind of just shit out into this burned down stall. It hasn't been repaired. There's like burnt remnants on the ground. Hardly even quantifies as a structure at this point. But nonetheless, you were in it. Make a perception check.
Okay. I would also immediately just start unfurling the thing. 3.
3? Alright. So yeah, you unfurl the hole. Everybody climbs out. As you peek up over it, you see 2 magi looking directly at you. Roll initiative.
Barst. All right, yeah, come on, Barst. You need to get something high here. You really do. Nice. 21. 21. God, I'm pumped. I am ready to kill some magi.
Great. You go first.
Okay. And Barst is right there, right?
Yep.
And the magi are like right next to us?
About 25-ish feet away.
Is there anything else going on around?
Not that you are currently aware of. If you look out, you can take a time to look around to see if there's anybody else or anything else in the immediate area. But at the moment, it's only these 2.
Do I get the impression that Eris is prepared?
Yeah, she's looking pretty on point at the moment.
I'm gonna look at Eris, look at the crossbow, look at Eris.
She nods.
Nod. I'm gonna hold my action to cast silence.
Okay. She readies a bolt.
All right.
And
I'm
she
going.
aims it.
All right. Once she fires it, I'm going to break concentration on the other silence, and I'm gonna cast silence on this arrow.
Okay. Cast silence on the arrow. Neither of the magi see you cast anything because you're hidden. She throws it, shoots it rather. That's very good. She aims for the one in front, hits him directly in the chest. Takes a whopping. Hand crossbow is D6, right? Or is it D4?
Hand crossbow is D6.
Takes a whopping very little damage. In fact, I think that's 1.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure her dex is not very high.
Oh, it's plus.
Her dex is plus 1.
That's
Bam!
3 damage.
Oh, he thought she had a minus to her dex. She's also proficient with it, at least. So, yeah.
So yes, this silenced arrow sticks right into his chest. He attempts to yell out in pain, realizes there's no noise, but takes no immediate action.
Okay. I mean, that's my turn, so.
Chalet leaps over the counter and sprints full speed at them. Will attempt to hit the one that that Eris hit. That is definitely going to hit. Ooh, max damage for a lot. 9? What's your bonus? 6. Oh my god, 12.
Yeah, because it's a +3 plus her 3 strength.
Very good.
Yeah, her attack to hit's fucking crazy.
It's insane.
plus 10 to hit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's gonna hit hard. She's gonna hit real hard.
Burst leaps across, and he will also attempt to slash the same one. 2 attacks. 1 will hit, 1 will miss. D6 plus a D8. That is 14 points of damage. Alright. So, it is that guy's turn. He...
The one that's is he still alive, too?
Yep.
Oh, damn.
Damn. He rips the crossbow bolt out and throws it on the floor, and will take his action to disengage and sprint away from it. So that's all he does. Other guy runs away and will cast a little fireball. The 2 of them.
Is Eris within 60 feet?
60 feet of what? Oh,
60 feet of the dude?
Yes, she is. So yes, he goes to shoot a fireball. Eris kind of peeks up with a wave of her hand. There's this brilliant flash of white light, and the fireball is cancelled. And then she ducks back down.
Oh, God. Good job, Eris.
It's your turn.
Fucking play. Well, let's also assume that Eris used a first level spell to, before all this, to cast Mage Armor.
Understood.
She probably would have done that once she started seeing demons flying through the sky. Okay, my turn. This is gonna be so dumb. What would it be to grab the arrow and throw it back to Eris? What would that take?
Oh, you'd have to pick it up and then either athletics or acrobatics to throw it back.
Would that take an action, bonus action?
I'd say an action.
That makes sense.
That's quite the endeavor.
Yeah, quite the endeavor. Okay, I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to try to throw the arrow back to Chalet. Or not Chalet, Eris.
Okay, so you sprint out, you pick up the arrow. Athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
I'm totally doing acrobatics. Oh no, it's an action to use my channel divinity, so I'm not going to do that. 17?
17. You deftly throw it back, and it sticks into the burnt countertop. And you see her hand reach up, pluck it out, and then pull it back down behind with her.
Okay, I'm going to use my bonus action to then... Because I'm out of the range of the silence now, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, then I'm going to cast... What do I have for bonus actions? Yeah, alright, I'm gonna cast Sanctuary on myself.
Okay. What does that do?
No, I wouldn't cast Sanctuary, actually. It's not going to necessarily do a whole lot. I'm going to... I don't want to do this. I'm going to cast at 4th level Spiritual Weapon at the one that ran away using Disengage. I want to try to hit him with the Spiritual Weapon.
So the one that was hurt?
Yes, the one that was hurt.
Okay, go for it.
Alright, rolling to attack. Natural 20.
That will definitely hit.
Alright, so 4d8. 3, 9, 17. 23 plus 3. That is 26 points of force damage.
Damn! He is still alive. Hardly.
Oh, damn it. Alright, that's fine. And then I guess what I'll do... Do I have enough movement to get to him?
No.
Probably not. Yeah, no. Then I'm just going to try to, I guess, move out of the way of everyone else. Try to get behind a corner somewhere if possible.
You are kind of in the middle of a street at the moment, and you used about 2/3 of your movement to get there. You could definitely move away from the others, but you couldn't get too far.
Okay, I'm still just going to move away from them at least somewhat. Hopefully out of AoE range, or at least enough to deter them from being hit as well. But that's my turn.
Alright, Eris loads the crossbow bolt, fires it again at the other guy who's uninjured. Natural fucking 20.
Oh, nice one. You fucking nailed it.
Wow. Max damage.
Oh my god. 12, so that's 14?
14.
No, 13?
13 points of damage.
Damn, Eris, you're doing so good with this fucking hand crossbow. We should have given you one earlier.
I know! Arrow gets stuck right in the guy's neck, and you can see it's going to be quite a bitch to pull out.
Oh, yes. Perfect.
She ducks down again. Chalet's turn. Chalet rushes at the dude who was injured. Something to finish him off. That will hit. Definitely hit.
So 2 hits. Nice.
That is 9 more damage. He is not dead. She's going to use her special attack.
Yes. Her bonus
That
action attack.
will hardly hit. But it's enough to kill him. He's dead.
Yes. Good. Oh my god, this has gone so much better. Man, I wish I had silence during the first time we encountered this dude.
The other guy is like, oh, uh-oh. And he just starts running away. Full speed.
Mm-mm. I look to the rest.
Full
Can't let him
movement
get
and
out.
action for sprint.
His movement and action. He doesn't yank out the arrow.
Nope. Just runs away.
We can't let him get out. Well, is it my turn now? Or is it Barst's?
Well, you're cutting out.
Oh. What is Barst's turn?
Burst. I think they should have gone before the guy. Yes. Let me retract all that. He hasn't run away yet. But he will
Okay.
run away.
Yeah.
Burst makes his 2 attacks. They're both gonna miss. Guy will run away. Full action to sprint. He'll take the opportunity attack. Nat 1 from Burst to hit. Guy's gone. 60 feet.
Also, by the way, Chalet should be doing way more damage. At 8th level on each of her turns, once on each of her turns, she deals an extra 1d8 damage of the same weapon type because of Divine Strike. She can also use her Channel Divinity to give a +10 to either herself or another attack roll. Just for the future.
Okay, that's a lot to remember.
Basically,
Shit.
yeah, it's like trying to run fucking 4 characters. 4 full-fledged like PCs. But no, I'll just remember that stuff.
Okay.
So Barst hit him a few times.
Barst missed all 3 attacks again.
Oh, he did.
A nat 1, a 2, and a 7.
Oh, why'd he roll 3?
Well, 2 attacks and the guy ran away for opportunity attack.
Oh, okay. We don't want him to get away. If he gets away, then he's gonna inform everyone. But to be fair, but the guy fucking knows anyways. How else did he see us summoning demons? Yeah, I don't know why he would. I don't have anything to hit him anyways. Yeah, I think we just gotta let him go. There's nothing I can do to hit him. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the silence arrow and I'm gonna stuff that in the bag of holding.
Yes.
Alright. Eris, fantastic job. The plan worked amazingly. The next time that we're about to have issues, I'm gonna hand you the arrow again.
Alright. That went very well. I like this.
This is working out. Alright. We're over the wall now. Let's make our way towards the Capitol building. Do I notice any, like, abnormal amounts of abyssal creatures coming from any direction?
This street seems to be pretty quiet.
Okay.
You suspect they might not have a whole lot of people back here quite yet.
Okay. Then, everyone, we're making our way to the Capitol building.
Make a perception check.
14?
14. You hear the rattling again.
Are you serious? Still?
It's very, very close. It's very loud.
We have to run then. Let's run down the street so that we can actually kind of see what the hell's chasing us.
Okay, so you just take off down the street. After you travel maybe 40 feet, you see a figure behind you. I am looking. Yes. Okay. So, you see this headless body following you. Chains wrapped around it, dragging behind it. It holds its left arm out, and in its hand you see it's grasping a handful of hair, and hanging from the hair is a severed head. You recognize this to be Adeline.
Adeline?
The Magi captain who was presumed dead and executed.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God.
Would you like to maintain concentration?
I'm gonna try.
Alright.
I'm gonna impose self-disadvantage on that as well, because that shocked me, genuinely. Alright, still rolled amazing, 13.
13? You beat my 12.
Wow.
I swear, every time.
I rolled a 13, and I rolled an 18. Okay, I do not want her to catch us. She's fast, right?
Oh, yes.
And she's completely wrapped in chains? Like, is her arms bound?
Her arms are not bound, but she is just covered in chains. Like, she's wearing a chain, quote-unquote, chain shirt made of chains.
Does she have a weapon on her?
No.
Do I know anything about this kind of entity? Have I heard of anything like this?
Make a history check.
I rolled a 2.
No.
So 13 or something?
You know nothing.
Damn it. This is my ability. Oh, wait, history?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, this doesn't actually fucking know anything, because this sheet's all fucked up. That's right. Oh, my expertises are all screwed up still. I'll have to look into that later. But, anyways.
From behind you, you hear her yell from her severed head, still talking to you. You will die. With her free hand, she points at Eris and casts Disintegrate. Dexterity saving throw from Eris. That one.
How much damage does Eris take?
10d6 plus 40. You see this sickly green beam fly out from Adeline's finger. It hits Eris square in the back. She turns to you in fear and panic, and instantaneously her body collapses into a pile of ash.
The cause of your death once. I will not falter to do it again. And I'm going to turn and cast a 5th level Dawn directly on top of her.
Dawn, you say?
Yes.
As you go to cast Dawn, there is a flash of white, blinding light from the other end of the street, and your Dawn is cancelled. You see 2 more Magi. One with the crossbow bolt still in his neck, about 20-ish feet to the side of another one who just counterspelled you.
Wait, if he had the crossbow bolt still stuck in his neck, does that mean that he still has silence?
That one guy is, yeah.
If that means that he has silenced, how could they counterspell?
There's two of them. The one guy who's silenced is away from the guy who just counterspelled him.
Okay. All right, that's fair. I had to ask. Fuck an A. All right. Well, I'm guessing we roll initiative.
Yep.
21.
21. I do believe you will be going first. It is you, followed by Bart.
How far at the Magi?
50 feet.
Okay. And how far is the headless bitch?
What's the range on the spell? Let me look.
I think disintegrate's like 60 feet.
I want to say it's 60 as well.
I just looked at it.
Yeah, she is 60 feet away. Perfectly 60 feet away.
I'm going to move away from the Magi, 15 feet, towards her. And I will cast Banishment on her.
Okay. Okay. Wisdom, charisma saving throw.
Yes.
Well, she definitely fails. She pops out of existence. But, she's just in a pocket plane then, because she's from here.
That's fine for now. I'm gonna try to retain again.
Okay.
Well, that's a 3. Yeah, 3.
19.
Yeah, no, I don't think I was gonna beat that with my disadvantage. You are a monster.
Well.
I'm ready to kick it off like immediately.
Let me take a drink of water first.
I have bloodlust, not from you, but just in general.
All right.
So, Jester.
Hi.
There have been so many different kinds of moments when you've swapped positions, mentality-wise, with Anna. You've seen her cackling. You've seen her depressed. You've felt no emotion. You've felt tons of emotion. Before even being pulled from the room, you can feel this hatred emanating that passes by you. You look behind, just even in this like transitional state, and you can see Anna in the room is almost like on fire, steaming up. And you'd swap positions just with a snap. You had just witnessed the creature disappear. And we have constituted that if they switched during it, they can contain the concentration, right?
It was either that the person who was in control maintains concentration, or the person who swapped out maintains their own.
I think it was if it swapped out, because it was like a special thing where they are still focusing on it, because they're just doing it at the time.
So you are focused on that then?
Yes. So basically she will be gone for a minute.
Okay.
So what you can see behind you is the silent spell is gone from the dude's arrow in his neck. But you can see a pile of ash with a crossbow and several objects, including a spell tome, embedded onto the ground. You also can see 2 figures, a man with an arrow in his neck, and another robed man who seems to have been twiddling his fingers for but a moment. Chalet and Barst are both facing the two, and you can see both of their grips have tightened immensely.
I grab I grab Eris's spellbook.
Okay.
We need to go.
But what are we gonna do if we just leave?
There's nothing to be done.
So what are you doing? It's currently based off the initiative. Did Chalet and Barst roll well?
It is. The order is us, Barst, both the Magi, then Chalet.
Alright. Barst is going to grab Chalet's arm and basically tug her into an alleyway nearby, using his action and movement to dash. And then he calls out to you, "We're going to leave." And he runs into an alleyway.
I follow.
Okay.
Or I suppose I follow on my turn.
Yeah. The Magi, now being facing you, the one with an arrow in his neck is going to step forwards, take the arrow out as well. When you do, you can see a gout of blood just splitter out. And he goes to cast, and when he does, you can see a pool of blood just kind of cough up from his throat and just begin to pour out. And that's when he realizes that the arrow had severed his vocal cords.
Oh, nice. Now 20 from beyond the grave, saving my ass.
He taps the shoulder of the other one and then goes running off in the other direction. The other one, stepping forwards towards you, holds out his fingertips and kind of clasps them. You can see this coalescing energy of cold. This blast of cold energy begins to emanate straight towards you.
Yikes.
Make a Constitution saving throw, I believe, for the Cone of Cold, or is it Dexterity?
Cone of Cold. That's I do believe that's con.
I'll double check, but just roll D20 anyways. Constitution saving throw.
And that's just a 15.
15 is the number you needed. So you take half damage from this. I'm gonna get a few extra D8s to save my ass. I need to organize dice box again. I keep saying that, but I need to. Alright. Oh, it's a good thing you saved. Okay, so that's 16, 24, 26. And wow, it's really good you saved. 24, 30, 36, 35, 42. You take 21 points of cold damage.
That's
as this
not
blast
as bad as I thought it would be.
What are you talking about? That's like near max. It's 8d8. That's 64 at most, and I rolled a 42.
Yeah, well, it could be worse if I failed, but I'll take this.
Oh yeah, no, it would have been way worse.
That's like shot by burst. That's not that bad.
No. And it's cold energy just courses straight over you. That would be your turn.
Oh, I much prefer the heat. I must admit. Does it affect my movement speed at all? In any way? No.
No,
All right.
especially because you saved.
I flip them off and I fucking take off down the alley.
Okay. Using your action, bonus action to dash.
120 feet? Yep.
Yeah, because you have mobility, so you have 40 feet normally. Easy enough, you just dip into the other corner. He's still easily a good 30 feet from you, so when you're leaving, he doesn't necessarily have line of sight past too far. Dashing past, you easily can surpass both Chalet and Barst, as Chalet is a little bit ahead of Barst, using her turn to have moved away. Because she would have gone after the Magi.
Yep.
You sprint past her, and ahead of you seems to be a number of entities that you can see are looking up into the sky. One of them gets like struck by a bolt of lightning, just falls to the ground. The other one is there. He taps the other one's face and just shoves him, and they all start to retreat back up the road. This alleyway seems to go about 40 more feet until you reach that open spread.
Oh, shit. We need to duck in somewhere and hide. We need to regather. This is...
You're near buildings. Buildings? You're near buildings.
Buildings? Yes.
Shush.
Yeah, if there's like a doorway or a window or something, I'm going in.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Perception. Not good. That's a 10.
10? 10's easy enough to notice a window. There's several, actually. There's one to your left in the rather smaller building. There's one that seems to be cracked to your right. That's the closest one nearest where you had first entered this alleyway. And then there's one ahead of you about 20 feet that is fully open. It looks like that would be the building on the corner of at least one that would be open to the other side street.
Shit. Into the smallest building, I guess.
The smallest one? Okay. That one's on the ground, so you kind of open up the window, and it's a little bit smaller, but it's big. It's at least big enough for you to fit through. Barst might have an issue.
I beckon for the other ones to get in.
Okay. Chalet crouches in, kind of pulls down, slides inside. Barst, though very difficultly, pops inside. And you can hear footsteps on the opposing side.
I hunch down on the floor. I just sit down.
In your current surrounding, you can tell that you are in what looks to be a washroom. There's small closed lines that are up. Several of them look to have been frozen over, that had thawed and then molded over. And what looks to be a small wash basin that has a hole in it and is spilling water onto the ground, or spilled water onto the ground. There's a door directly in the far corner as well that's closed.
Oh, shit. Okay.
What are we doing?
I have no intention to move at the moment.
What are we going to do? We can't stop.
I know. But I just cradle the spell book.
Chalet's there. Her eyes are fully dilated and wide. I want to end this. Nothing has been right. Nothing has been enjoyable. And now they take one of the last remaining people in my family from me. I will never surrender to them. I will rather die than to just flee or to stop or to do anything. Even if we are losing, I will never stop. We just need to go.
No, they've taken far too much from us, from everybody else. Whatever their intentions, noble or not, they are monsters. If we must die, we'll take them with us.
Now what are we doing? Where's our next step?
Do any of you, well, I suppose, no. Disregard. None of us know how to. Oh. We need to march. Straight there.
Straight to it?
We have nothing else. unless we attempt to sabotage them in some way to allow our forces to gain the upper hand, to take more ground of the city. Realistically, if we march straight on their fortress, we'll die immediately.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we have to find where they're summoning those creatures. If we stop that, then they lose their force.
The majority of it.
And then we can focus on the capital.
So where do you think they would put it?
Well, obviously it's on this wall, right? Like, it has to be on this side. They wouldn't put it away from them.
No, I don't think they would.
I also don't think they would put it directly next to their power source for the city. But they would put it nearby. Nearby where they can keep a watchful eye on it.
Can I think of any place in the upper city that would be open enough to allow for this kind of ritual, but also be well defended enough so that it's not directly in the open?
Yes. You've lived in the city for long enough. You're not going to need a history check or anything, considering it's also only been a few months since or a good few weeks since you've been here last. You recalled that nearby the Capitol building, though the Capitol was mainly for the court system itself, it lacked the space necessary to hold tomes of knowledge. There is a public library that holds all of the books for aspiring students, as well as religious tomes, speaking of the scourge that is magic casters and everything of the sort. So that is nearby, easily within eyesight, within less than a block of distance from the capital. And you would know that without furniture in there, there is a very expansive amount of space inside of it.
If I had to wager a guess for a fortress, near a fortress, that would be protected enough for them to be mostly undisturbed while they did this, it would have to be the library near-ish there, the Capitol building.
That's what I was thinking. Well, if that's what you're thinking, rather, then it's our best option, because me and Bars don't know anything about this place.
It's exceptionally dangerous.
Well, we don't have any other choice. Right?
Right.
Let's just go. Where to? We're gonna follow you. And at that moment you hear the rattling of chains coming down the alleyway.
Good. Come to take another friend, have you? She will hunt us until she is dead or we are dead. We kill her now.
Agreed. I have a lot that I want to do.
I smile, nice and wicked, in a way I haven't since before we left Neverwinter originally. It's been a long time since I've enjoyed a murder.
It's been a long time since I've felt the need for revenge as well. Once you told us that you stopped Strahd, you stopped that bastard from everything he's done, I was delighted, but sad in a way that I couldn't do something to participate in it. I feel something that I want to release. Bars kind of puts a hand on top of Cholet's shoulder, and you can see when he puts it on, he, being of larger state, he tends to have a lot of mass. When he puts it on, you can just see muscles tensing from Cholet. And Bars just summons the blade with his hand. Oh, we are definitely not going to allow this to continue. can see he's gripping it so tight that his nails are kind of digging into his hand. You hear the rattling get closer.
You two get her
Schley.
into position. I will come out from behind and at least injure her enough that you two can finish her off.
We should hide in here then?
No,
Where?
we take the fight into the alley.
We can't get through that window that fast.
We don't have to be stealthy about it.
You're right. No, you're right. All right, we'll follow your lead then.
All right.
So, what are you doing?
First, Chalet, would you be able to get her to move past the window so I could come out behind and get her?
So you want us to go out first?
Out first and then draw her past this place. And then once I have her attention, you two come in, and the three of us will finish her quickly.
All right. Yes, we can do that. We won't be able to get very far out of sight because otherwise we'll be traveling directly in front of the
That's fine.
open.
Just enough to draw her into the open.
All right. So the two of them. Barst first lifts himself out through the thing. He sees, well, based off the sound, you just hear approaching slower and slower, just kind of getting closer in that general direction. And he helps Chalet out, and they both kind of just take steps back, holding up their weapons. Chalet actually has like a bit of magic conjuring in her hand. And you hear the chains rattling closer and closer and closer until they're directly in front of the window.
I press myself up against the wall and wait for her to walk by.
I will kill you. And you see a small spark begin to emanate on the ground in front of you. And this eruption of flame begins to coalesce into the ground and course throughout the floor and just envelops across you. As when you do, you can see the face of the entity right there, dangling in front of the window, staring through obstacles to you, as if she's staring directly at you with this unnatural presence. Make a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage.
That's pretty good. 16.
16? 16 barely saves, so you take 8d6 halved.
A delayed burst fireball, sir?
Yeah, actually, I think. Isn't that different?
I'm not certain.
I don't know if it's the delayed burst one, actually. Let me double check, because I can't remember which one it is. Because, yeah, no, it is. It is this one. 12d6.
Nice.
Well, you did save, though, so that's good.
We still have... We didn't return the ring of fire.
We didn't return the what?
The ring of fire protection from the...
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. He held a palm out like immediately after you guys returned, and you retaliated with, "You are still the best person I have ever met," or something like that. Okay, so 6, 10, 14. These are shite rolls.
Good.
21. 26. Hey, 28. So you take 14 points of fire damage as this sparking just bursting out through the window, this flame, and you just hear Barst and Chalet both just tighten and then foot stomping. You can basically hear them because it's just clang, 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 clang. Chalet, immediately following that, you hear this burst, and then you don't hear anything. Everything around you just kind of gets quiet, stainly quiet. Just everything is faded, and then you just see Barst swing twice directly at her. First one will miss. Second one will definitely hit. So 2d6 plus a d8. Where did my d8 go? Did I put my d8 back? For 11 plus 5 for damage, so 16 points of damage. You see this massive greatsword just hit him or hit her, and when you see it collide, you would expect some slashing or at least flesh grinding or metal on metal with the chains. But there's no sound, just silent attack. Now we're gonna roll initiative.
Silence, you say?
Mm-hmm. Chalet is also a cleric. She can use it. And she would have heard of the plan before, so she would have done it herself. Quick question. What kind of entity is this anyways? If it is, or is it a homebrewed thing?
Homebrewed.
I figured as much. That's why I was like, delayed fireball's not that far out of range with disintegrate.
No, God no.
But I'm guessing Dex isn't one of her strong suits.
Well, I mean, she is technically a corpse, so neither is charisma.
Yeah, I kind of gathered.
16.
Alright, so that was her. Chalet, okay. Barst, okay. You are definitely first.
Great.
Don't you do it. No, the sad face, no. Oh.
Alright.
The sad face.
Alright, I peek out the window. I have allies there. So, I'm just gonna stab her right in the neck.
Oh yeah, you can reach too, easily. Go ahead and roll to attack.
That is,
Yeah, no.
oh god, I don't know, 27.
Hey, guess what? That's gonna hit. I think that's gonna hit.
Okay, good.
So yeah, you can see with like the torrential rain that's still emanating around as well, that everyone's getting damp. The streets themselves are getting kind of muddy. It's a lot easier to notice from being now like face to the ground itself. So you're getting covered in mud. Barst and Chalet have been covered in mud, especially from kind of climbing out of the window itself. Seem to have added a lot of that to it.
11 points of piercing damage.
11 points. That's pretty low. Are you sure you added sneak attack?
Yep.
Oh.
2-2.
Even the +2?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm sorry. So you stab forwards, and you go to stab straight for the head that's right there, and in that moment, one of the chains just barely dangles down, and you puncture through one of the chain links, and it only barely cuts across the face.
Nice. Gonna jump out the window.
Easy enough with your athleticism or your acrobatics. You just kind of put both hands out, grab onto it, and fling forwards. Now you're standing directly next to her.
Great. I'm gonna run behind Barst and Chalet.
You're gonna run behind Barst and Chalet?
Yep.
Are you using anything?
Nope, she can't take opportunity attacks on me because I hit her with a weapon.
Oh, you're mobile. Right.
Yep.
Alright, fair enough. You have a bonus action if there's anything you wanted to do with that?
No.
Okay. Yeah, at this point you're also in the silence as well. It is the creature's turn once you kind of puncture into it, what she does is, being kind of blocked by both Chalet and Barst, the eyes of the entity gets lifted, and the eyes themselves just begin to rapidly spin in place. Just... and you can hear the sound of what looks to be... well, not... you can't hear the sound, actually. With some saving throws. Ooh, good job, Chalet. So what you would see, because I'm guessing you're facing her.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm good at these, I say as I roll low. That's a 26, bitch.
Okay, so you see the spinning, and suddenly flashes of images just begin to pulsate into the back of your mind. Just these images of horrifying visages, this entity disintegrating Eris several times directly in front of you. But instead of genuine fear of what's to come, the images of Eris just fill you with this amount of hatred for this entity, and you just push straight through it. And that's when you realize both Chalet has also done the same, just tighten the grip of the mace. And you would be able to hear her screaming, but because of the silence that's on the ground, she's silently screaming at the top of her lungs. Barst, however, you can see his body begins to shake. His legs have weakened, and he starts to like step back a few spaces.
I've already been tortured for a century. Thanks. Gotta try harder than that.
Being Barst's turn, he's going to take his action and be forced to flee. So he's going to, with his movement, move 30 feet out and dash. This puts him into the middle of the street at this point. And that's what happens on Barst's turn. Chalet, wielding the mace, brings it up and just goes to club immediately downwards at where the head would be, so it's like hitting the collarbone of the body. And you can see this divine light just kind of pulsate from it. Rolling to attack. Yes. D6 and a D8 for divine strike. For maximum damage. So that is 6, 8, 14 plus her plus 6, so 20 points of bludgeoning damage.
Very
as this
nice.
mace just goes. You see several of the bones just kind of crack upwards, and the chains themselves have kind of untaut themselves, and they just start to like dangle slowly off. Entity still stands. In screaming fit, she just swings one more time directly down on top with her bonus action. This one, as it comes down, it hits the chains, just kind of brushes off it, and the chains themselves absorb most of the blow. That is now the top of the initiative order. Your turn.
Stepping up beside Eris, stabbing her, not Eris, or not.
Stepping up
Stabbing up
beside
beside Chalet,
Adeline.
stabbing
Oh.
fucking this wretched woman right in the heart.
Okay, go ahead and roll to attack.
Natural fucking 20.
Okay, go ahead and roll your damage and double your dice. I also need to roll wisdom saving throw for Barst. Hey, there you go, Barst. We've both been rolling fucking fantastic.
Yes.
It's the dice are even pumped for us. So how much of piercing damage?
That's 29 points of piercing damage.
All right. So what happens is you step forwards and just stab straight into the back of the hand that's holding the head, and you see the hand just kind of like loosen softly, and the head hits the ground and rolls to the side. You still see that it's alive, But when you yank it out, this like gout of disgusting ichor kind of just pours onto the ground. Just this black energy just. And when it hits the ground, it actually fades into some misty fog almost. You still have a bonus action. And another dagger.
Offhand stab. All the way.
Onto the head or the body?
You know what? Chalet can smash the head like a gourd. I'm gonna go for the body.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to attack.
That's 18 plus whatever.
Yes, it's going to attack. It's going to hit. So it's a d4 plus 3. Because on an offhand, you do not add your modifier, but the weapon is a plus 3. So
that's 5 points of piercing damage.
After stabbing the hand, you puncture forwards and you get right in between one of the chain links, and it kind of stabs directly in with a thick thud, almost like it's just. When you yank it out, there's no amount of blood on the dagger, but you see some fog begin to kind of pour out of the body. Just for the sake of this, let me roll a d20. Okay, no. So as you're stepping forwards, the rain is kind of smattering down, and the mud just kind of like sits there and gets a little bit more and more. Being the creature's turn, still enveloped in a zone of silence, the body is just going to take 2 swings at you. First to attack. Natural 1.
Good.
Let me just roll another d20 for fumble. That's another So what you see is, without sight, because of the rain and the fact that the mud's kind of covered the face some, it goes to swing and just clubs straight down at the head. Dealing not that much damage. Dealing 5 points of bludgeoning damage to itself. It goes to swing at you a second time. Does a dirty 20 hit?
Yes, I want to use... They can't see me, though, so I guess it doesn't really work.
Unsettling visage? Yeah, they can't see you.
Whoops. I'll take it.
Yeah, no. Not much. You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as this hand just comes out and hits you with this surprising amount of force. Just the...
Owie.
Hits you.
Owie.
Yeah, you are injured. You are hot and you're cold, as well as punched across the collarbone as it just kind of hits you softly.
Completely unnecessary and completely unprofessional.
Barst, seeing you, looks up the street and continues to run.
What?
He runs into the other alley that's nearby, just across from him, and he turns back to look at you, and he's doing 2 fists of coming here. What he does is he sees what's going on over there. He first does the kill sign of the thing over the neck, and then he points to coming over to him.
Okay.
Chalet is going to absolutely, relentlessly crush down at this head. With a natural 3, she's going to use her Channel Divinity.
Surely she would have
to
advantage
her...
because it's prone.
You are correct. That would be a natural 20.
Very
She
good.
does not need to use her Channel Divinity because this fucking head is about to be squashed like a gourd. Gross. Alright, I gotta roll another d8, but... Alright, that one's better, but that's okay. So, 6, 8, so that's 14. 2 from the d6, so that is 16. 6 from the other d8, that is 22, plus 6, 28, with a silent... You just see, which is probably for the best. You stabbed in and you pulled out, and after it kind of hit you, you're just looking forward and you see a mace cross your vision, and suddenly the body in front of you just goes limp. The chains completely unravel, and and you look down and you see probably the remnants of what you assume to be a watermelon. It is unrecognizable from anything at all.
Great.
And at that point, Chalet just ends the silence. I really needed that. You can see tears kind of forming in her eyes, and it's hard to tell whether or not she's actually crying or if it's the rain.
That was your heiress, you piece of shit. Chalet, we have to go.
Yeah. Barst leans out, and he still does the hands to you.
I think he's been learning puppetry and charades, and I think it's paying off. I think he wants us to go over there.
Chalet places a hand on the corner, looks out, and then sprints across to Barst.
I sprint across as well.
Okay. Are you looking down the street at all?
Nope.
Okay, you sprint out. You, exceptionally, are just much faster, and you basically place one foot, leap into the air, and just kind of float slowly over to them without touching the ground. Barst grabs you and kind of pulls you off to the side, leans back up, looks back at you. All right. The bitch is dead, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's very dead. Chalet made sure of it.
I'm sorry. She made...
Hey.
She looked like Eris.
Hey,
and I couldn't.
Don't worry about it. Everything is fine.
Let's
just repress that
on.
trauma. We can deal with it at a later date in therapy.
I'm gonna need a lot of therapy, I think.
Oh, yes.
All right. What are you doing?
Oh, fuck. Well, we really need to rest. At least I really need to rest.
It's downpouring rain. And now that you're out of the zone of silence, you are hearing bolts of lightning. You're hearing explosions and stabbing, screaming from a lot of entities, some being demonic, some being abyssal. It's difficult to tell which side is winning, especially considering you don't actually see any of the forces above the wall. Because you're still relatively close to it as well, and
Yeah.
It seems to still be standing 40 feet tall.
How would you two feel about a quick rest somewhere to recuperate?
We don't exactly have that kind of time. The longer we wait, the closer the city gets.
I'm very close to death. I'm gonna throw that out there.
Alright. Sure. Barst, how are you doing? I personally am fine. I can stay watch. Chalet looks at herself. I'm doing fine as well, but I'll just keep watch as well.
Actually,
just to
you know
be sure
what?
that we're
Fuck it.
safe.
4th level cure wounds.
4th level cure wounds. Alright. You place your hand on. Fuck it. And you just wash over with this healing energy. Go ahead and roll 4d8 plus your wisdom. 4d8 plus 3.
Those are all almost max.
That's fantastic. I mean, max would be 35, so...
27 plus wisdom for...
Yep, plus wisdom, so it's 30.
30 HP.
Ooh. You place a hand, and you just suddenly see this wave of healing energy just wash over you. There's still a few nicks and bruises of where the cold had kind of solidified over you, but you look way better. Both Chalet and Barsh just look you up and down. Oh, I guess we don't need the break then.
Nope, I feel great.
Just to be on the top side, considering the rest of us, me and Barst are fine. She places a finger onto you, and you heal an additional 1st level cure wounds.
Oh,
You heal 11.
damn. Full HP, perfect.
Yeah, an 8. That's perfect. I was like, the only way this will make it at max is another 8, and look at that. That is hilarious. All right, we're at our tip-top shape. This is the best that we're gonna get. Take us to the library.
All right, let's take it slow and quietly. As far as we know, or as far as we know that they know, we either fled or were dead.
What?
Don't question me. I'm going to be quiet about this. I follow my lead. I give Chalet the blessing of the trickster to give her advantage.
That's not why she's even. Alright. What'd you roll?
17.
Okay. So you skulk into the shadows, just looking both which ways. You look over at Chalet and Barst. Wait, no, I didn't actually roll for Chalet yet. That was only Barst with disadvantage. Chalet is doing all right. She's not perfect, but she's doing all right. Barst, ooh, that metal.
Worthless. Absolutely worthless.
Won't complain when I'm being attacked.
Fine. No, you know what? I'm just highly wound because we're in a war zone. Let's go.
Let me roll perception. Okay. So, dumping into certain corners, you see about 3 of these magi up ahead of you, but there is an alleyway to your left. Looking at them, they look to be bandaging up the one that has that had the arrow shot into his throat. They're bandaging it up, and though they kind of cover it, you can clearly see that blood is still trickling through it, and they don't necessarily have the means of resolving that. So they're completely distracted, and you're able to just duck off to the side.
Nice.
Making your way, because it's on the opposing side of the capital, so you basically are on the leftern portion, so you're almost there. You have maybe another block and a half, but when you turn left, you just hear, and you can see a number of these dog-like abyssal creatures sniffing out, just and they look to they don't see you, but they definitely see Chalet and Barst as
good.
All 3 of them just begin to leap. Are you running or are you fighting?
Fight. We're fucking fighting.
Alright, roll initiative.
Not good.
Oh, Chalet's good. Hey, Barst is better. What'd you roll?
13.
13, you say? I mean, that's not terrible. That's like way better than what Anna usually rolls, other than the 2 19s. So let me roll for the doggos. Interesting. You said 13?
Yeah.
All right. Barst, immediately, as the dogs are about 30 feet, using their surprise to just kind of leap towards the group. It is you at the bottom of the initiative order. It's kind of sad. But Barst summons the blade again and takes a defensive stance. He sees you, who have kind of like lurched towards the other side, and he moves out into the middle of the passage with a repost position with his greatsword. Chalet now, also being able to go before these creatures, runs behind Barst, but with like a sway of her hands, she's places forwards this spectral mace that kind of floats in place, and it goes to club one of the dogs.
Nice.
Definitely hitting. She deals a d8 of force. That creature takes 11 points of damage as this mace just goes hits it across the chest, and it kind of bounces, rebounds a little bit, shakes off some, and you can see that the legs are just twitching, but it stands back up into place and is following suit. The dogs easily being able to move up to them. The first one that makes a leap towards Barst, Barst is going to use his held action to riposte and try to knock the creature out. This is not the one that was hit by the mace. He's a champion, yeah?
Yep.
He crits on 19s.
Hell yes.
2d6. 46, actually, yeah. Oh, shite. Okay, so I'm gonna roll the d8 again. So that way I can get the 2d8s out. Oh my god. Okay, so what you see, the dog leaps, Barst stabs straight forwards through the dog, and you can just see its legs squealing and squirming, just... and its legs go limp, and with a quick throw, you can see the dog just slide off the blade and colliding into the wall. And then one of the dogs, taking the opportunity now, since he used his action to literally obliterate that dog, he rolled like over 30 damage. He rolled nearly max on the d6s and 1 max. This dog, however, as it leaps up towards Barst, after slaying it, it left his collarbone and his throat wide open, and the dog just gets a critical hit onto him. And he suffers... Ooh. Barst suffers 19 points of piercing damage.
Yikes.
As this bite gets him straight across the throat and just yanks out a huge chunk of flesh. The other dog is going to leap at him as well. This one's going to hit, though it's not a crit. And he suffers an additional 10 points of piercing damage as this dog runs in and gets straight into part of his waist once he kind of collides with the ground. His hand just kind of pushing off just to keep his own balance, and it gets in right into the side where the half plate armor just barely doesn't protect.
Well.
Now it's you.
Well.
You are 10 feet away from Chalet, who is in turn 5 feet away from Barst, who in turn is 5 feet away from both of these dogs.
All right.
Actually, that dog had pack tactics. Was not a critical hit anyways. So doesn't matter.
Gonna have some fun here. Gonna run around the corner and drop into a slide underneath, in between Chalet's legs, up underneath Barst, and stab the dog up underneath its head, into its neck.
Alright, go ahead and roll to attack.
That is 24 to hit.
That's going to hit, so go ahead and roll your sneak attack. And this is the one that got him at the waist?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. 19 points of damage.
Okay, as you slide in, just you stab upwards straight into its head, and you can see that the wound from the spectral mace colliding with this one has wounded its physical structure. So when you stab upwards, it just kind of clumps into the ground, just falling to pieces, basically.
Very good. The other dog is also action within range? Yep, offhand attack. Let's go. Let's do it.
Alright. Go ahead and roll to attack.
Natural 20.
Alright, well, it's 2d4 plus 3.
Very good.
Because, yeah, it's still once per turn, not once per target, right?
Yeah. That's 9 points of piercing damage.
Ooh, damaging. So, this one, you kind of slide in and you get right into its disturbing mouth. But then a second mouth just kind of emerges off to the side of its body. And you've seen these creatures before when you were escaping the Nine Hells, the first layer. These were the entities that were running through the ground, just completely diving at civilians.
Oh. I remember
But
them. I definitely don't like them.
No, they are definitely disturbing, and the fact that they have two mouths are even worse. So you stab into one of them, and the other one just kind of emerges, gnawing its teeth. Barst, kind of standing up, he looks down, and this would definitely be an anime moment where he's just saying you are already dead. Omae wa shinderu. I don't think I fucking said that right because I never watch anime. But he's going to take a swing, 2 swings at this doggo. This doggo is fucked. This doggo is super fucked. I rolled a 19, which is another crit, and then a 17. I'm not going to roll damage because there's no way. No way. This time, he golf swings it up, and it hits it straight up into the air, and he brings down the sword, and it cuts it straight in half.
Well, impressive and disturbing.
We need to go. Come on. We don't have time to waste.
Nope, straight in.
And he follows you at a slower pace.
I peek out into the street.
Okay. Looking left and right this time, you can tell that there are no entities to your left. Looking towards the Capitol building, you can easily tell that they have fortified this building. There are large gated walls that are surrounding it in that crimson. You can also see, positioned on the very top of it, is this disturbing, large winged, abyssal-like creature. It has a large beak, and underneath that beak seems to have a secondary beak, though that beak itself has small eyes onto it. So this creature has 4 eyes. 2 of them are on a beak that is a secondary beak to its first.
But underneath the secondary beak, is there a smaller tertiary beak?
You cannot tell from this distance.
Shit.
There might be.
Oh. The
But
hells
this
are
is a
governed by
large-
desks, and these guys are governed by the amount of beaks.
But you can tell that its wingspan is easily 15 foot wide per wing.
Okay. There's a bird over there.
Yeah, I saw him when we were trying to run past the other one.
Did it?
It nearly looked straight at me, but I don't think it could see.
Weird. Okay, then let's just fucking go.
Yeah, when you go out, you can see that its head looks straight at you, but it doesn't move. It doesn't follow your eyes or anything.
I don't like it. Less time we can spend in its gaze, the better.
Agreed. How much further till we reach the library?
Not too much further. We're very close.
Alright. For the sake of this, make another stealth check. Who gets your blessing? Eris or Barst?
Let's give it to Eris.
Not Eris, fucking Chalet.
Yes. Her.
Damn it.
She's dead.
Alright, with disadvantage bars. Chalet. Chalet is quiet like the night. What'd you roll?
22.
Hello?
Hello?
What'd you roll?
22.
Chalet is better at it than you.
Impossible.
Well, she rolled a natural 20, so she's like, you notice suddenly she has a leaf out of nowhere, and she's covering the bits and pieces of metal that might ding from the sound of the rain hitting her, and she's just very carefully just positioning herself. And she goes alongside with you. Barst, not necessarily being as tactful, but a lot quieter, is just kind of gun-hoing it towards you. His metal doesn't cling as much, but the rain that's hitting it definitely makes it ping every so often. He didn't roll bad. He rolled an 8.
That's
plus
okay.
Plus whatever. The die was an 8, but it wasn't terrible.
Well, we're learning. Hooray for learning.
The other one was a natural 20, unfortunately. So,
Oh.
yeah. Roll 2 natural 20s with those 3 dice. God. But being nimble, there's a moment where you almost stop Barst as 4 of these large entities. They're abyssal in nature. They have thick forearms but smaller legs, and they're just completely disproportionate to themselves. But they stand about 10 feet tall each, and they just pushing themselves with their fists as they're kind of using them to walk.
Don't like that at all.
And you can see them, they leap over the crimson wall with their fists. But they do not notice you.
Good.
And with the rest of this time spent, you easily make it to the library. The front of it, though, has what looks to be 2 abyssal creatures that are just kind of eyes and head is just like twitching and lurching in several different directions. There doesn't seem to be any other force near it. It's still within eyesight of the larger capital, but it doesn't seem to be very well guarded in response.
Weird.
As far as you can tell.
Weird.
The entities that are out front are very smaller, and they have they're almost imp-like in nature. They're like the flying creatures that you had experienced before.
Okay. I assume there's only the one entrance.
Yes, to the library. There's the main entrance. There's windows, but those are easily 10, 15 feet tall. 10, 15 feet up.
All right. So, do we just go in?
Well, do we not have any other choice?
I might be able to get myself in, but that's probably worse.
We need to stick together. Being just us, we need to go as a group.
Let's do it. Let's do a
What's the
fucking
plan?
badass, cool walk towards the door.
Well, you're coming from like the side angle to it.
Yeah. Let's do a badass walk around the side of the building.
There are those 2 entities that are right in front of it. Do you have any plan to take them out, or are you just gonna stroll on up?
I don't really have a choice. Just, we're strolling straight up.
Okay. As you're walking closer, are you going to retain concentration?
No. I like the idea of ending with us just turning the corner, walking straight,
Rolling up,
staring
towards
them down.
You monster. So, basically, you're not necessarily like out in the open, but you're definitely not being stealthy while approaching these creatures.
Yes.
Okay.
Rolling some dice with friends, huh?
I'm so sad.
Just 2 dudes rolling some dice, having some fun times.
I was like thinking of anything possible I could do, but there was nothing.
Nope.
I don't get counterspell or anything. And Eris didn't even see it coming, so she didn't have counterspell on hand. I'm so sad.
Can only be revived with a wish or true resurrection.
Yeah, we don't have that. Not for a while. Not for another 7 levels.
You want to know something?
What?
That's gonna eat away at you until the day this campaign is done.
What?
The only reason Eris died is because you chose to maintain concentration and you beat.
Oh, could it sense my concentration of silence?
Well, no, because otherwise you would have taken control, and I doubt you would have disintegrated her.
Wait, what? I'm confused.
So when Adeline showed up,
Mm-hmm.
timer went off. You rolled to maintain concentration.
Mm-hmm.
You succeeded, and then Adeline disintegrated Eris. So you see, this is your fault. If you lost, she would still be alive.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I was like, concentration on the banishment? How is that the fucking thing?
I blame you.
You're a piece of shit. Are you serious? You're gonna throw the shade at me and you're the one that did it? You kidding me? I like the idea of Adelaide showing up, but I didn't like the idea of her casting fucking Disintegrate. That's on you, not on me. Don't you cast shade like that.
Well, I already did.
What level spells Disintegrate? 6th?
6th.
So yeah, I was like, if she can cast that, she can easily cast a fucking Delayed Fireball
Yep.
as one of her strongest spells, which it is.
7th?
7th, yeah. Oh my god.
Welcome to the beginning of the end.
How did she even get to us? Did she go through a wall?
Mayhaps. She has ways.
I suppose she has spells she could have fucking dimension doored through as well. In reality. Yeah, quite literally, in reality, she probably just dimension doored through. It's not like that's hard. It's a 3rd level spell. 4th level spell.
Mayhaps.
I'm so sad. No, but I also knew for a fact that there was no way that creature was going to be distracted by two people whom she never really met.
No.
No, she had a burning hatred for Jester and knew of his location. This was definitely a creature of vengeful spirit.
Maybe.
I was counting it like close to an avatar of death.
Close. I will not get into too much specifics. There might be more. You do not know.
See, the other thing that's freaking me out is the other Jester and Anna.
Why?
Because I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, it's crazy. Because if they were still there through the eyes of whoever we were looking at, my thought process is that what we were seeing was from the eyes of that dude, the main guy, and maybe the two that are there are, I don't know, duplicates of us, or they're alternate versions of us that accepted the deal.
Interesting.
I don't know. Like, I don't necessarily know what that means, because they were still there even with the vision. So that makes me think that since we were seeing through someone else's eyes, we were seeing those two. Like, we were actually seeing them, not that we were dreaming it.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, you're such a bad person. We've killed Eris twice.
First time it wasn't really her.
You had full intentions of her to be, though.
Maybe.
Because later on, when we were like, oh yeah, Eris is actually alive because of Asmodeus, you fucking admitted to me that that you had full intentions of that being a lie.
Who doesn't like double murder?
You're such a shit. You're such a piece of shit. I'm so sad.
Hope you're ready to lose everybody else, too.
No, Barst will live, and Chalet will live. You targeted the one person who probably wouldn't have lived from the
I did!
disintegrate.
Oh, she also had the least amount of health, so I was like, oh.
That's what I'm saying. She had 55 health, so the minimum that she could have taken from the, 10d6 was 15.
Yep.
She was doomed to start.
I closed all my tabs. How much health do the other two have?
Barst has 79, so he would have still been at threat, but not as much. And Chalet has, I think, 67.
I will tell you this. Chalet would have also died.
Ugh.
Burst would have survived with 4 HP, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the average is 75 or something? 76?
Something like that.
Because it's 10d6, so the minimum is 70, the maximum is 100.
10d6 plus 40.
Oh, so it's 50 to 100 is the range. So yeah, 75 is the average. God. Look, at least you didn't target us.
I mean, that would have been just the end of the campaign.
Yeah. I just imagine that we were basically out of range barely.
Basically what?
At the time when we were running, and Eris was the last one behind us. That's why I imagine she got hit.
Whatever helps you sleep at night. Smiley face.
That's what I'm gonna tell myself, because I feel bad.
You'll always
I'm
remember the look of terror.
Sad.
Look of terror and fear in her eyes as she looked at you for help and then died.
Look, I'm gonna bring her back. I don't care. Look, True Resurrection is 500 years?
I mean, yeah, she'll be fine if we survive.
We'll survive. Fuck it. I don't care. We're surviving. I will kill this entire damn city if I have to. I am so upset.
My plans are all in motion. You have... Oh, yes.
See, the thing is, I was just BSing majority of it. I haven't had any of this stuff planned. I intentionally left myself completely open to any idea that was going to occur. I think the only thing I had planned was the lightning. That was it. Bashaba literally just fucking them with lightning.
You took that a completely different direction than I did.
I figured, but then I also reinstated it with the fire from the others throwing it into the fire to have it burst into flames or whatever.
Yeah.
What was your initial plan for it?
It still might happen, so I can't
I see.
Exclude.
Gotcha.
Flame.
That's fair. I get that. Lightning never strikes the same place twice, except it's fucking striking this city like a goddamn... it's a fucking fiesta. I'm so sad. I was sad when we killed Eris last time. And that one wasn't even her, and I didn't even do it.
What makes it worse, that we killed her the second time, or that it was instant?
The fact that it was instant, and the fact that I couldn't revive her. Because, I mean, if she was a body, I would gentle repose, and I would keep her. I could bring her back.
Oh my god. Put her in the bag.
I would! Literally, our bag's fucking empty at this point. Stuff everyone in there. She's small enough. I would have easily spent the action to do that. Easily. I've been gentle repose, stuff her in the bag. We're fucking dipping. I'll bring her back to life once I find a diamond worth 100 gold pieces to revivify her. Doesn't know that she also failed her dex save.
God no, she rolled a nat 1.
Yeah, some people would have counted that as a critical hit on the spell.
Well, I mean, chances were she wasn't going to survive, and I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I don't count it because for reasons exactly like this. Like, it's brutal.
Yeah.
Spells are crazy.
Like, what the fuck? Just straight up dead? Okay, like, see ya, I'm done, I guess.
A third level fireball on a natural one would do 16d6.
Yep.
That will kill characters.
Yep.
Because the minimum is 16, the maximum is 96.
No,
Like,
more than that.
that could have killed us at level 8. Like, outright.
Still could.
Well, it would knock us unconscious, but it physically can't kill us if it would quote unquote critically hit. Because if we were at max health.
At max health.
Because we're at 60. If we're at like 60 something.
That's a dumb rule. Whoever uses that, I don't agree.
I don't agree. I understand behind it. I get it. Because there's other people that also use critical hits as different ways.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about using critical hits in a different way because some people do it where if you roll a natural 20, you just deal maximum damage and then roll normal. I think that's too powerful personally.
That's a lot of damage.
Because, exactly, it's like, look at Barst. A critical hit is 2d6 plus a d8.
Yeah.
He's going to do max of 20 and then another on that. But that works the other way too. Look at, like, a normal level based cleric or something using level 1 inflict wounds. That does 30 damage. 30 damage!
It's
30 damage, then plus another 3d10.
It's just a tiny bit too much. Just a small amount.
Like, I get it for small, weaker attacks and stuff, like a sword. Because I do agree, the method of doubling the number of dice or doubling what you roll sometimes is underwhelming. Like, I mean, look at your fucking critical hit that you did earlier.
Yeah.
It was 11 or something?
Something like that, yeah.
It wasn't very good, and I get that sucks. That just sucks. But there's not necessarily a fair balance. So what I was thinking was, because I've been making a tabletop RPG version of White Knight Chronicles, like I was telling you,
Mm-hmm.
and that one relies heavily on combat. Like, it's a lot of just damage output. It's a lot of values of numbers and a lot of damage just being thrown around. So it's just a lot of dice. So I was like, critical hits are going to happen based off of these number of hits. Because some abilities take like 4 hits, and some abilities can be chained several times. So some people are just rolling like 7 or 8 dice in a turn. A critical hit, what it would do is you take half of your dice that you would roll and automatically max it. Then you just roll the normal other half. That way you're automatically already above average damage.
Yeah.
The only issue is that obviously if you have only 1 dice to roll, then you would round up and just take the maximum damage possible. So like you would roll the 8 and then roll another d8 for a longsword.
I see.
And I think that's a fair balance, at least for the White Knight Chronicles one shot, because just having full max damage makes a lot happen. Like a lot. It also, this half damage though makes it complicated between what if you only have 2d6 and a d8. Like, what do you do with that? But anyways, it's getting late. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna stop ranting and gushing over White Knight Chronicles.
Thank you for sparing me.
I love the game so much. It was actually what made me, Jordan, and Calvin probably like really bond, because it had an online feature and we played the shit out of that game before they closed down the servers.
I see. Yeah.
Well, anyways, thank you so much everyone for listening. This has been an emotional and it's been a session.
It's only gonna get worse, so I hope you're ready.
I know.
Thank you for listening. I am heading to die. So, goodbye.
Bye.